Sister TC, I'm so happy that you joined
Welcome
us,
to the
and
CraftsWombman
I
channel.
just want to first of all hear like how you got started into this holistic company.
Well, thank you all so much for having me. I know I went through some technical difficulties trying to connect earlier, but I'm here now. And I'm so excited to connect with all the new individuals. Um, so, long story short, I am Jamaican. Okay, so that's the foundation of everything. And I say that because the Caribbean culture, not just being a Jamaican, but being from the islands, you are really brought up in a natural way of life. And at the time, you don't really think that that way of growing up, or we call it broadcupsy, that way is the best way until you come to the States, you know?
Right.
Miami, but I lived in Jamaica for 7 years with my grandparents, and then I came back to the States. And so with that, and so when I started, growing up, being a teenager, of course, I'm eating McDonald's, I'm eating all these other things, I'm eating whatever is advertised on TV because that's what I was raised to do. And then when I got into undergrad, when I went to college, I went to Florida A&M. So all my rattlers that are out there, or all my HBCUs, students, graduates that are out there, shout out to you guys. Congratulations. And but when I was there, I experienced, it was a traumatic experience where my womb was imbalanced. And so because of that, I was trying to figure out, okay, well, yes, I'm going to do what the doctor says, because at that time, my belief or my way of, solving issues was to listen to what my doctor was saying and to do, because they're supposed to be the professionals. They're supposed to be the ones that go to school. They know about health. They know about all these things. That's what you're led to believe, but that's not the truth at all. Because the reality is, and I'm saying this because I went through the process of going to medical school, or, going to apply for medical school and visiting different medical schools. And I realized that, hey, everyone, I realized that have education in nutrition. They did not have any classes in health or wellness or anything like that. Their core classes are about the human anatomy, surgical practices or surgical procedures, as well as drugs and drug interaction with the human body, and as it relates to different diseases or imbalances. So that's what I learned when I was going through my process of applying to medical school. And so let's backtrack now. When I was listening to the doctors at that time, I was taking their medications, taking their prescriptions, and that was not working for me, And the issue that I was talking about, or am talking about, is bacterial vaginosis. And what I realized is that, no, I need to go back to the source, because, like I said, I come from the Jamaican culture, so every time when something was going on with me or something was going on with another family member, my grandmother always said, oh, go get the bush, and the bush was normally some type of herb like cerasee or lemongrass or something like that. And so that's what she would always say. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't, my culture isn't wrong. So let me try to go back to the source. Let me try to go back to the root and try to fix or correct my imbalance that way. And that's what I did. Long story I did, and I did that by using the Yoni detox pearls. And my journey with the pearls was a 10-month journey. So a lot of people, they are maybe getting the pearls, expecting things to happen in 30 days.
TC, when you say that it was a 10-month journey, are you saying that you used the pearls for 10 months? Okay.
Yes, I did. So every single month, I would insert the pearls. And when I say the pearls, I mean I would insert 3 pearls. I held them in for 3 days, and then I removed them. So that's what I did, and that's what worked for me. So I did it from January 2015, November or October was the last month of 2015. And so after I did that, along with making sure that my food intake is on the raw or on the healthy path as well as ensuring that, my mental is also on the same holistic path as well. Because what I try to tell everyone, when it comes to your yoni, when it comes to your face, when it comes to your womb, when it comes to your cervix, when it comes to your vagina, it's not just about who you're letting in, who you're letting into your sacred space. It's also about everything that you consume. And consumption is not just what you eat. It's what you put on your skin. It's what you watch. It's what you listen to. It's all of those aspects. You know, it's even the environments that you're putting yourself in, even some people, some, you know, negative friends or negative family members or things like that. All of those are consumption. Why? Because taking those information from our different sensory organs, you know, you have what you hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. Those are your 5 sensory organs. And when you're taking in information from those 5 sensory organs, that's all a part of your consumption. Consumption is going to have an effect on your body. Either it's going to help to build your body up in a positive aspect to keep your body balanced, or it's going to help to break your body down and make your body more imbalanced or add to it being more imbalanced. So that's what I had to learn. Tell all my clients, I try to tell them it's not just about doing one thing. Because for me, a lot of people, a lot of individuals, like, yes, I do sell Yoni pearls, but it's not just about the pearls. Because what people are not understanding is that pearls are not like it's just an addition to help you to jumpstart your wellness journey. You know, wellness is a holistic aspect. That's why my company name is Embrace Pangea. Mm-hmm. You know, because embrace means you're taking it in, you're accepting, and Pangea is the theory that all the world's continents were connected together. So that means that they were whole. So that's why my company's name is Embrace Pangea, meaning embrace the holistic aspect of life. So that's why I tell everyone, it's not just take this herb. It could be parsley. It could be red raspberry. It could be any type of herb, and that one herb is not going to be your end-all, be-all, because it wasn't the absence of that herb that puts you in that imbalanced state, you know?
Right. All right, and I wanted to...
Okay.
I would like for you to expound a little bit more about the Yoni pearls, and I know that, you know, we do some of the same similar things, but I like to get I always have people on this call that do the same thing that I do. There's enough women for all of us. But I also like to have people on here to talk about things that I'm not familiar with, vaginal wash and the hygiene products too. So if we can first start talking about.
Okay. Before then, I started Embrace Pangea from 2014, but that was mainly for African inspired clothing, you know. And then in 2015, when I was correcting my issue with bacterial vaginosis with the Yoni pearls, or what I originally called them were herbal womb detox pearls, because they are herbs. Literally, they're all literally herbs, you know. And mine are a composition of 5 herbs. You have mother's worth, you have ostel, you have angelica,
so
you have an herb called borneo.
Do you make them yourself?
No, I do not hand.
Okay.
No, I did not hand make them myself. No, I did not hand make them myself. I partner with different people that make them, and that's just with all my products. Like even my washes. Like no, I'm not at home bottling up my washes. No, okay. I don't bottle up. Let's say my herbal teas. No, all of that I use manufacturers to do that because I just do things on a large scale. And like I said, I'm also a PhD student. So, no, I'm not at home. I will never tell anyone that I'm at home manually make. The only thing that I manually make is my goddess butter. And actually, I'm about to discontinue my goddess butters because I just really don't have the amount of time to actually make them. So I'm about to discontinue them starting 2018. But for the pearls, just to finish talking about that, they're literally herbs. Like, they're literally herbs, ground up herbs.
Like suppositories?
And like I said, it's a composition. Okay. Right. It's a composition of 5 herbs. They're all ground up, rolled up into a little ball, and then you have a cotton mesh that holds all the herbal ball components together. And then you have a string that ties the cotton mesh together. So when you insert the herbs, they're not going to just be floating around in your yoni. You know, they're all going to be still contained in the cotton mesh, right? And then you have the string that attaches to the end. And then what you do is you pull the string a little bit so that you can actually use the string to easily remove it when you're done detoxing. Okay, and so mother's worth is a really good herb, and it has a strong affinity for the female reproduction system, and it plays a great role in rejuvenating the womb, like toning it, lubricating it, increasing elasticity, and it also aids in regulating menstruation, removing toxins from the womb as well. Astol is more of like a traditional herbal extract that originates from, I'm going to say the scientific name of the plant. It's called Syndium monera plant. That's the scientific name of it. But studies have actually shown that this bioavailable compound has anti-inflammatory, anti-fibrotic, anti-tumor properties, and also plays a key role in strengthening the uterus, killing parasites, and relieving itchiness.
And what's the name
and
of
then
that one?
Angelica is the third. Oh, that was Astol. It's spelled OSTHOL.
Okay.
Okay, and then the third herb has really been used since 588 BC, and it's termed the herb of the angels, and it's called Angelica.
Mm-hmm.
And they also call it like the female ginseng. Mm-hmm. So it's noted for its female regulatory properties. And I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard of parsley before, right? So this herb, Angelica, is like the cousin of parsley. Yeah, and it's normally grown in Korea, Taiwan, and Indonesia. That's mainly where Angelica herb is grown and cultivated in the world. And so the root is high in vitamin B12, it's high in biotin, it's high in folate, and Angelica is key in regulating menstruation, balancing estrogen levels, and improving fertility. So as you can see, as I'm going through the herbs that are actually in the Yoni pearls, you can see why those combination of herbs are actually inside of the Yoni pearls, because they all help to regulate and maintain and rebalance the womb and Yoni. And, this is also another topic, too. I spoke on this a couple of years ago on my YouTube channel, just about understanding Yoni, like what does Yoni really mean? Because sometimes when people say Yoni, they're only talking about the outside area, just the part of the vagina that you can see. And that's not the case. The Yoni is the entire aspect of the vagina, the internal, the external, it's all of it. And when you're talking about the womb, that's just really like the cervix area and where the baby is going to be sitting inside. And the vagina is mainly like the vaginal cavity. Okay, so sometimes I don't want people to get confused because sometimes the words are used interchangeably, but that's just to have everyone on the same, And so I'm going to talk about the last two herbs just so everyone has an understanding of what the herbs actually are. And all of this is listed on EmbracePangea.com. I have a full description of all the herbs. Plus, I also have a Yoni Pearl. We started the holistic aspect of the natural hygiene and herbal detox portion of Embrace Pangea. So when it comes to the Yoni, so the second to last herb is called Borneo, and it originates from the camphor tree. It's like the sap of the tree. So they collect the sap, and that is what is Borneo. All right, and so basically this herb goes all the way back to 659 AD, and studies have actually shown that this herbal compound, like I said, is the sap of the camphor tree, has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory effects. And it plays a key role in reducing pain, controlling hot flashes, tightening the vagina, and reducing uterine discharges. And the last herb is rhizoma, and this is a perennial plant, okay? So it primarily comes from the Sichuan province in China. Okay, so this is where the herb is mainly grown. And it's one of the B vitamins in the herb is folate. So this herb is high in folate. All right, and folate is a B vitamin, just so that everyone is clear. And it's been known to facilitate women's health in regards to controlling hot flashes, reducing menstruation, improving blood circulation, as well as removing toxins. So that summarizes all of the herbs, the 5 herbs that are actually in the Yoni Detox Pearls that I actually offer. And I know different companies offer different herbal compounds, but these are the herbs that I offer in mine. And the full description, like I said, is all available for the public to see what it actually is on EmbracePangea.com. So that is what the Yoni Pearls are. How I use it, since 2000, I do a seasonal cleanse. So every 3 months, I personally would do a cleanse. And that's just where I am with using Yoni Pearls. I never recommend that anyone uses Yoni Pearls every single month for the rest of their life, because at that point, you're just on a different type of I would say holistic drug,
Right.
because when you go to the doctors, they want to put you on something for the rest of your life. And I'm like, look, that is not the end game at all. Any type of herb that you're on, whether it's a Yoni Pearl, the herbs are put into a little cotton wrap, or if it's any herb that you're blending in your smoothie or any herb you're adding to your meals, you don't want to be taking it every single day for the rest of your life. You want to add variety. You want to add variation. So that way your body is constantly getting new vitamins, new nutrients, new phytochemicals inside of it. Because when you do that, when you use an herb every single day, it can actually lose its potent effects in your body.
Right.
Okay, because then your body gets accustomed, your body gets used to it, and whatever bacteria or virus or imbalance you may be fighting, it can also develop defenses against it. So that's why I always tell everyone, this planet has so many herbs, so many plants that literally do similar things. You have honeysuckle, you have rose, like the essential oil from roses. They actually have antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and antivirus effects or components to them, just like parsley or any other herb. So that's what I'm saying. Rotate your herbs. And if you're using Yoni Detox Pearls, yes, use them because it aligns with your holistic beliefs and understandings. But understand, Yoni Pearls are not the end-all, be-all. You have to do other things in conjunction with doing the Yoni Pearls. Okay, so that's what I would say, and that's what I practice, and that's what I do. And so a lot of people also have the question about what they're supposed to use, And so for me, I tell them this analogy. Well, I have two analogies, actually. One analogy is the analogy of someone who's never went to the gym or hasn't been to the gym in forever, right? And that's similar to someone who hasn't really done a holistic or practiced a holistic lifestyle, right? And so if you're going to just jump into doing a detox, then I would say start slowly. Start slowly because you've never done a detox before, so start slowly. And so that's why when the question comes up, well, how many pearls? Okay, I would recommend you start off with doing 1 pearl. See how your body reacts, right? Because the other analogy that I use is with perfume. Some women like specific types of perfumes. You may like a fragrance perfume that's like really, really fruity, and you may spray a whole lot on your body, and you may be totally okay with it. I, on the other hand, may walk by, and I may start sneezing all over the place because it's too strong, it's too potent for myself. And that's the same thing I say with Yoni Detox Pearls. Like, yes, the idea is to put 3 pearls in for 3 days. However, those herbs are exceptionally potent. Like, when you take them out the package, you're literally filled with the fragrance of the herbs. So for some women, those herbs may be too potent for them to do 3 at a time. So just start doing 1 at a time. See how you feel. See if your body can tolerate the potency, and then work your way up. And that's why I also tell people your personal holistic journey is just that. It's personal and it's unique to you because we're not all a blind carbon copy of each other. We're all divinely, uniquely made. So we can't just be doing the same exact thing someone else is doing. We can try it, see if it works for me, and if that way that you're doing works exactly right for me, great. If it doesn't, maybe I need to modify it. Like, for instance, my mother, she does not like ginger the way that I love ginger, right? So I may put an entire 6 inches of ginger into a juice, and I'll be totally fine with it. Whereas my mother, she will not be able to drink that juice, right? So I would probably have to do maybe 1 or 2 inches of the ginger and then just call that a day for my mother.
Right.
Thing I say when it comes to herbs, you just have to test it out, see if it works for you, and if it doesn't work for you, try to modify it, you know. But that's just how I say. Everything's like salt. Just try a little bit, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, then, you know, move on to something else or try to see what could you modify.
Okay.
But, yes, but that's it for the Yoni Pearl. I don't know if you want to talk about anything else.
And I also want you to explain this the Yoni egg. So many people ask me about it. I was taught about the Yoni eggs, but I don't use them, so I'm not like equipped to tell any people about it. So I would like for you to speak in detail about the Yoni eggs, and also, you know, how everybody can get everything on your website, embracepangea.com, right?
Yes. Everything that I'm talking about here, plus other goodies, are available on Embrace Pangea. Like I have a herbal tooth powder that I just came out with. That is on Embrace Pangea. And then hopefully before 2018, I will have my natural deodorant that is going to be on there as well. It's going to be 5 edible ingredients, unless you want the scented kind. And the scented kind will be with the essential oils.
Okay.
Yeah, but
and can you explain a little bit more about the benefits of the Yoni eggs and the pros and cons?
Yes. So, oh my gosh. Okay, let me tell you my introduction to Yoni eggs. I would have to say, oh my gosh, it would have to be in 2015. Once again, 2015 was really my reintroduction, or not really reintroduction, but my true introduction to my wounds, to my Yoni, to all of that good stuff there. That was my introduction to it in 2015. So I started using Yoni eggs. I started using Yoni eggs. I started off with a rose quartz because rose quartz is really the true beginner stone, because it is a stone that's all about love. It's all about love in all capacities. Love of yourself, love with your spouse, love with your partner, love with your soulmate, love with your family members, love of the world. You know, it's just love in all capacities. Self-love, it talks about or teaches and connects with compassion, forgiveness, romance, intimacy, as well as unconditional love. Like rose quartz is that stone out there, and they're asking about, they've never used Yoni eggs before. I would definitely recommend rose quartz Yoni eggs as your beginner stone. Now, the way that I have it set up in regards to, it's sold as a set of 3 on my website, okay? And I have it in a set of 3 because the idea is that, yes, you can use the Yoni egg internally, but you can also use it externally, right? So if you're not really ready for the insertion of the Yoni eggs, then you can also use it in meditation. You can use it in when you're doing your affirmations, when you're doing your thoughts of gratitude, because it's a stone. Now, if you are going to use it internally, it is also not just a stone of love to reconnect you with that aspect within yourself, but it's also about tightening your vaginal muscles. Because the thing about tightening your vaginal muscles, it helps with lubrication. So if anyone is having an issue with, not being properly lubricated, I would say, yes, use the Yoni eggs, but also be mindful of your water intake. Okay, make sure you're getting enough water if you're not being properly lubricated. Right. Think about that as well. Keep that in mind. And so, but yes, it helps with lubrication, and it also helps with toning and strengthening your uterus. So if you are in the age of where you're still able to be fertile, still able to have babies, you're in the reproduction stage of your life, then yes, adding Yoni eggs will definitely help with that, because it helps to tone and helps to strengthen the uterus. Because what is happening is when you're holding the yoni egg inside of your vagina or your vaginal walls, you're using your vaginal muscles fit in, okay? Because, yes, your vaginal muscles or your vagina, it is a mucous membrane, is that it does produce some type of mucus, hence why the lubrication part of it, but it's also very muscular, right? It's very, very muscular. And it's, you know the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Right.
So if you don't go to the gym and work out your biceps, then, hey, guess what? You're going to not really have that many or that strong biceps. Or women, you know, we like to focus on our glutes. If we're not in the gym, you know, trying to do those kicks, those donkey kicks or those squats, then, you know, and also if we're not born with, you know, that maximum, you know, action going on like that, because I'm not that type of person. I wasn't born blessed in that area. So I need to be in the gym. And because I'm not really in the gym, then, you know, my glutes are not really that strong. However, back to the yoni eggs and the vagina muscles, it's the same concept, the same exact concept. So, and especially if you had a child, then using yoni eggs will be a great natural way of helping to tighten back your vaginal muscles. And say there's a set of 3. It comes in 3 different sizes, a large, medium, and small. So that way you start off at the large, and the idea is to tighten your vaginal muscles to a point where you can start moving down to smaller and smaller yoni eggs. And because unlike any other muscle, you may see, let's say your biceps, right? When you're building up your biceps, it kind of goes out, right? It goes out so people can see that it's growing. But with your yoni, your vaginal muscles, they go in, they build up, but they're building inside. So it's like the closing of a tunnel, if you can really imagine that. So that is what yoni eggs are all about. They've literally been used for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, so it helps with bringing a strong vagina, the pelvic floor. Let me see what else it's really good for. And they're called yoni eggs or yoni crystals because they're literally any type of crystal that you can think of, right? So they have them in tourmaline, they have them in tiger eye, they have them in any various types of crystals. But the specific ones that, like I said, it's a beginner stone, is the rose quartz crystals. And what they do, in a source, my crystals are sourced. And so when they're sourced out of the mines of Brazil, then they're crafted down to the shape of an egg, right? And then also I have each of my eggs come with a separate string. So that way, if you're just beginning, you're just starting out, and you're not really comfortable with, like, releasing the egg on your own, then you have the string to help you to remove the egg. And I also provide complimentary string with every order. So that way, if you want to just toss your string every time you use it, you definitely could because you have extra string. So let me see what else. What other goodies can I tell you about this? Oh, yes. It also teaches you about awareness and consciousness. You know, just being aware. Because sometimes we live our life very externally, right? You know, we're always responding to other people. We're always tend to put out fires for other people, but sometimes we don't try to put out our internal fires, you know, and try to fix things that are going on. I want to still be healthy. So I always keep those things in mind. And let me see what else. Oh, you saw the demo where I compared the absorbency. Okay, so yeah, so for those people that did not see the demo, I do actually have the demo on the listing for each one of the pads and the liners on EmbracePangaea.com. You can go and scroll down, and you can play the video and watch it live for yourself before you place your order so you can see, okay, yes, what Tammy is saying is true. You know, I see exactly what the demo was about. So, but in the demo, right now since I'm talking about it, in the demo, I compare the absorbency of the conventional pad versus the pads that I use and I sell. And you can see that the pads that I use and I sell are significantly thinner than the conventional pads, right? And they actually, the organic ones that I sell, they actually absorb way more liquid than the conventional one. So that is the demo that I did back in February of this year, actually. It's almost been a year. Wow. But that's the demo that I did. And I love them. It's awesome. Like, I'm super, super happy. And this is what I tell people all the time. Like, I sell the things that I use. Because a lot of times people just so happen to use the things that they sell. No, the things that I use them first. My family members use them. They love them. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe my audience would be interested in this,
right.
you know? And so anything that I have on my site, I'm the first guinea pig. And then my family's the second testers. And then I'm like, okay, well, we've had good results. All right, now let me offer it out. And even with the deodorant, I tested out the deodorant for about a good 3 weeks. And then I've had my mom test it out. I've had my sister and my cousins, they've all tested it out. They've had really good results because they're all coming from, you know, the Doves and the Suaves and all of that. And they say, yes, no, I do not smell. I don't have any of those issues, you know. So because a lot of times when it comes to deodorant, the natural deodorant, you have to reapply, or you're sweating all the time. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's test this out. Let's see what's really, really going on here. But that's the end of the pads. I don't know if you want me to talk about the wash.
Yes.
Okay. So let me see here. Okay, so for everyone that is on my Instagram, this is what the wash looks like. And it is a pH balanced foaming feminine wash, okay? A lot of times, you may not realize it, but we have different pHs all over our body. You know, I know there's this thing going around that says, oh, neutral pH, we have to have a neutral pH. But guess what? Specifically for the blood. Okay, your blood has to have a neutral pH of 7. So whatever you eat, you want to ensure that it helps your blood maintain the neutral pH of 7. But keep in mind, your stomach, that has a totally different pH, right? It's about like a pH of like a 4 or 5, okay? And then your skin, the pH is about a 5. The pH of your vagina is between a 3.5 and a 4.5. And the pH of this wash is at approximately a 4. Okay, so the thing is, whenever you're cleansing your body, you want to ensure that you're using pH-appropriate products. Because, yes, it's one step, and I always say it's good, better, best. You know, meet yourself where you are and journey to where you want to go. So, yes, switch to natural hygiene products. Do that. However, the next evolution, the next step is to be mindful of the pH. So sometimes a lot of us, we may be experiencing Yoni imbalances because what we're using to wash our vagina is not pH appropriate. You know, it actually may be knocking our pH all the way above 4.5 or maybe bringing it all the way below a 3.5. And whenever your pH is out of balance, your whole entire environment is out of whack. You know, imagine when you're in your room and your room is dirty, your room is chaotic, you're in a good, stable, balanced place. Or if you go into your kitchen and your garbage can is overflowing, you know, you're not in a good, stable place. Or you go somewhere and the smell is not conducive to you. You're not in a good, stable place. That's the same thing for your yoni, your womb, your vagina, okay? You want to make sure you're using pH-balanced products. And the foaming feminine wash is pH-specific for your yoni. And the reason why I say it's a foaming wash is because some people misunderstand it for a douche. No. This is not a douche or anything like that. And I do not advocate the use of douches because I feel like when you're using a douche, you're washing out everything. You know, you're washing out all the good bacteria, all the bad bacteria from your yoni. And I feel like that may not be the best thing, but like I said, that's just me and my personal take on douches. And so that's why I want to emphasize this is a foaming cleanser. It's not a douche. You don't stick it inside of your vagina. You literally pump 1, 2, 3, and then you use it to wash inside your labia, outside of your labia, as well as your anal region. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's an intimate wash, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's really good to help reduce odor, itching, excessive discharge, and this is with regular cleansing. You know, some women recently, the other day, someone made a comment. They said, "Well, you're only supposed to use water," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, wait 1 second. Your vagina has folds. You know, we're walking around, going from different places. We're going to different atmospheres, different environments. Depending on where you're living in the world, you may walk outside and it's like 100 degrees, and then you go inside to a building, an office job, and it's 60 degrees. Mm-hmm. You know, so you're going through all of these climate changes, plus the fabric that's rubbing against your yoni, rubbing against your vagina, and then on top of it, you're sweating. Mm-hmm. You know, because remember, your skin is the largest detoxifying organ that you have. Mm-hmm. And the purpose of the skin is to excrete, okay? So it's excreting toxins, it's excreting waste, and your yoni is not any different from the rest of your skin. It all excretes. Your scalp excretes. You know, every part of your body that's skin excretes. So if you are of the mindset or the philosophy that you're only supposed to use water, keep in mind when you get in the shower, you don't just stand there and let the water hit you and run off. No, you use some type of soap to cleanse. Because here's the thing. The science behind soap is that soap is a binder, right? Soap binds to grease. Soap binds to oils. And that's what happens to our skin. We have dead skin cells. We have oils that accumulate on our body. And the soap comes and it binds to it, and the function of the water is to, once the soap binds to the oils and dead skin cells, water is supposed to come and wash that away. That's the function of how it works. That's the science behind it. So if you're having any type of odor and you're only using water to wash your yoni, I would highly recommend you use a natural cleanser, and I would recommend one that's pH balanced, like the one that's offered on my website. And one other thing to keep in mind, I mentioned rose essential oil and honeysuckle, and because those are the keys that are a part of the wash. And the wash is all plant-based, okay? It has a soap nut base. It has honeysuckle, has rose essential oil. That's all in there. And like I said, it's all plant-based. Everything in here is all easily readable, all understandable, and everything is listed on the website. And remember, rose essential oil and honeysuckle essential oil, they're both antibacterial, antiviral, antibacterial and antiviral. One of the great benefits of it. It's eco-friendly, it's vegan, it's plant-based, and like I said, the pH is a pH of 4, and it's not a douche. It's not a douche, and you do not have to insert it into your vagina or anything like that.
Black women getting hysterectomies, I would like for you to talk about that. I just had someone to tell me that if you don't want to have children anymore, it's okay to get a hysterectomy. So the ages of women getting hysterectomies is becoming younger and younger, and I just would like to, I talk about it so much. I would like for somebody else to speak about that.
Okay, so in regards to hysterectomies, the one thing you have to keep in mind is that your womb is not just for childbearing purposes. Your womb is also a balance, a hormonal regulator of your system. All right, so if you take out your hormonal regulator, you're knocking your body off balance. So that is just one thing that I want to stress to everyone. Definitely want to stress that to everyone. If you are experiencing, let's say, fibroids or anything like that, I would highly change your diet because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget to go back to the source, go back to the root, go back to the foundation. Everything that you need is in nature. Nature. The one thing that you don't have is the education. So educate yourself. Educate yourself. Do your research. Go and look into those plants, those foods that are good for if you are breastfeeding. It's good for all of those things. So that's the other thing to keep in mind. When you're looking into herbs, every herb is not for everyone all the time. Just because it's an herb doesn't mean it's for you in your current situation. So make sure you look into that. And when it comes to hysterectomies, it's the same exact thing. If you, my king is telling me I have 1 minute. Okay. So, my king and Instagram is telling me I have 1 minute. Okay. So sorry to rush everything, but if you.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let us know, what did you think about this video?